Hello and welcome back to the channel where we are building a video game from scratch using Love2d and Lua. Yes, I agree, Soup. It is. Yes, I've learned a ton. You know, like I've been saying like I want to be the dumbest guy in the room, and I'm finally the dumbest guy in the room. You know. So today we're going to be working on some prototyping for some new spells, because we can't design new levels until we have new spells, and we don't know what the spells exactly going to behave until we have the entities that we're going to be fighting with the spells, and kind of that interplay between the mechanics. So we're going to be diving into prototyping probably Aquis, which is the water spell for the Dark Forest, which will have new enemies that cannot be cleansed with fire. So I'm trying to think of, maybe there's like a negation sound where if you hit the boars with fire, it makes a certain kind of sound that kind of implies that they're impenetrable to it. Because there's going to be 4 spells and at least 6 different enemies. So we've got 2 of them. We've got 2 enemies right now. So I'm trying to think about what I'm going to do for, you know, because it's like the fire technically should, you know, collide with the boars and stuff, but for the game's sake, for the mechanics' sake, I want them to be noticeably different. So I don't know what that means. Like, I don't know if it means that there's like a little thud sound instead of like a magical explosion sound when it collides with an enemy that the spell isn't supposed to cleanse. And it's supposed to be like a, well, you know what, I really don't know, because the Aquis spell is supposed to not necessarily cleanse the creatures. It's supposed to deter them, like flip them on their back and stuff, while you can maneuver around. So maybe we go that route, where maybe it's, you know, it might make, fire might make the same cleansing sound against the pigs, against the boars, but it won't actually cleanse them because they're just too thick. So you have to think of something else, which is you basically just like slip them up with water, which is like the only idea I've thought about for the blue spell. But you know, because I'm wanting to do a different, you know, Flamma is like a right around you range, right? It rotates around you. So I wanted something, you know, the Lux spell is going to be like a flash, a beam of light that goes across the screen. So like that gets you some distance. Or the green is more of a timing thing because it's a reflective spell. But the blue, I wanted something kind of different. You know, not necessarily. I was kind of thinking it'd just be in front of you, but because I also don't want the circle of Flamma to be the same type of spell, right? Like I don't want the timing of the circle of getting Flamma in the right rotation. I don't want that to be the quote unquote gimmick of all the spells. So what we're going to be doing is we have to rehaul our magic system to take in other options, because right now we only have 1 Manus bar that drains at a specific rate, and that I don't think will change. But we will change the focus indicator as well as the successful cast range. And right now, every piece of code is only for Flamma when it comes to spellcasting. So we're going to have to dive in there, see what we've been doing, and then see if we can come up with a method to decouple the spellcasting from being just Flamma to being whatever's currently equipped. And then we've got all these little things to think about, like, do we make sure, or how do we make sure that the player doesn't cheat the magic system, like spell cast one spell and then pause, switch and equip another thing, and then unpause, and then it's in the selected, successful cast range, and kind of cheese it like that. We have to think about how we're going to do that. Yes, dude, it's from free run. It's definitely from free run. Do you like free run, dude? Wait, I thought I talked to you about anime once and you were like not into it. But yeah, Flama's the best. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely, I ripped it off from free run for sure. I love that show. Good. Yeah, I mean, free run's is in its own class for sure. It's definitely its own class. What the hell is this? Oh, save data. I'm looking for the focus indicator X. Because this, oh god, it's so bad, dude. It's so bad. The code for this is just absurd. Oh god, okay. So we have a bunch of fields on our player. And some of things, dude, like unfocus. Unfocus, the idea behind unfocus is it's like a modifier on top of your focus casting. So instead of just draining your manus and increasing your focus indicator equally, the unfocus is like an unstable addition to make it a little different to spellcast, so it's not as linear a relationship between casting and the output of your focus. So that's what unfocus is supposed to be. But also, like, look at what the hell, dude. This is old. This is all old. This buttons 1 fire spell pressed. We don't need that anymore. That is our old touch. But now that we refactored with baton, we just need action down, and the touch will be taken care of by the action down. So I'm not too worried about that, but it's, dude, oh my god. It's in our player. Why? Okay, so I'm kind of thinking we got to just decouple all the spellcasting logic from our player class, so that we can basically say, and I don't know where we would put it. I guess we do have to have like instead of all the unfocus and the focus indicator X being changed here, if we had a spellcast element class that had each of its types, and then depending on the active equipped element, you get X amount of focus indicator, which is the white bar, that you're supposed to balance in the green zone for your successful cast. But also the other spells have to function a little differently, because it's not going to be the same. I don't want it to be the same result using the element like the same casting skill. I want it to be different. So I don't know if that means it's like a charge and hold, or a I don't know what that means, but we have to kind of plan something else out. Because I don't want it to be the same thing where, the longer you focus your manus, the higher your focus indicator goes, and it's the same for every spell. Like the focus indicator could be in the green zone for a successful cast, but how the interplay of the focus indicator and your manus focusing should play a little different. So whatever the unfocus element is of each individual element, I want to be able to update individually so that each one plays differently. Just, you know, plays a little bit differently. So yeah, I mean, it is not going to be fun refactoring this out. We might need our, well, dude, oh my god, it's, I mean, I only got myself to blame because unfocus is like the worst field name I've ever seen in my life. I'm glad you like Free Run though, Soup. I love that show. I'm trying to think because I really do. I'm kind of thinking that unfocus might be the secret to the other casting, but unfocus is, you know, we set it to 0. We set the unfocus growing to false. If we have manas, then we're gonna modify our unfocus by this focus grow constant. But then once we hit a specific unfocus max, what the fuck, dude? Then we become ungrowing false. Unfocus growing false, which means we decrement our focus grow. So that's all that unfocus is doing. So maybe we should rename it Flamma resistance, or like Flamma modifier, Flamma focus modifier. That's just better than unfocus, right? Flamma focus modifier, because the white bar is what we're calling focus. And then I don't know about namespaces, Soup. I do not know. We can Google it. Yeah, I don't exactly know what you mean by namespace, but it looks like, I mean, it looks like we can do that, where we can just create functions or something on top of a table. Hierarchy of code is flat on the left. I bit my lip, dude. I bit my bottom lip open. It's just bugging me. Okay, I'm kind of thinking we might need. See what's okay. Well, if our Flamma's equipped, then we're doing Flamma specific stuff here. Excuse me. Okay, so if Flamma's equipped here and we're casting, we're going to do a thing which is update our vibrancy. We're going to drain our vibrancy. We're going to set our unfocus to either grow or shrink. And then we're going to apply... Oh my god, dude. Apply unfocus to focus indicator. It's so bad, dude. Okay. Clamp focus to 0 if no monas. Yeah. Okay. Well, it would be a lot simpler if we didn't want, or like if we kept the spell casting kind of similar, but I want it to be a little more involved. Like Flama spell casting, you do kind of have to balance it. You have to preserve your mana, so you can't cast when you're too low, otherwise you're just out. But I don't want it to be too complicated. Like, I don't want it to be like, oh, if you're casting Aquis, then it'll cast upon a release of the A button after your focus. So if you get the timing right on the release, it casts. Like, I don't know if that is too ridiculous. At the beginning of the game, I do say, like, a successful cast is when your focus indicator resides in a successful cast zone, which is straightforward enough. But if we change it, and we, you know, I'm totally open to changing the text of the first part of the game as things change. Unfocused scalar. God damn, dude, what the hell is this? Unfocused scalar. Yeah, I mean, there's probably 100 lines in here that are just for the Flama. So we have to, well, let me see if we can just get Aquis equipable again. Aquis unlocked, false. Okay, Aquis unlocked. Okay. All right, let's say Aquis is unlocked here. Oh, we gotta wait a bit. I've got to add the mute button. I'm gonna go not full screen either. Okay, let's see. Dude, why, oh, it's because we missed one more line here. Okay, we gotta just sit this one through a bit. Once we get a save file here, we won't have to sit through this. I want to also add in a more featured cheater toggle, is what we call, giving us in-game features like in the game. So we might come up with a new cheater toggle as well in the coming days. For moments like this, like, oh, can we give ourselves Aquis? Can we give ourselves full health? Can we give ourselves a million coin? Okay, we gotta add cheater toggle for Aquis because we wiped it. Okay, we've got that. Let us go back. Aquis unlocked. We might just need to add it to the cheater toggle. Oh. Okay. Now the Aquis unlocked is on the player class. So we should just have Aquis unlocked. Gets true. Okay, so our cheater toggle. Oh, dude, what the f... We've got to stop loading the new game here. We got to go to our title screen state, and instead of changing to the save select state, we're going to go back to the old single state, because we should be a continue, not a new game, and I don't know if we configured the continue logic just yet. Oh, dude, did we not? No save data exist. Really? Well, that really screwed up. Let's... We've got a save file backup I could have just plopped in here, but I did not. Okay, we better save here. If we don't save here, then our merge from yesterday probably failed in some way. Game saved successfully. Let's run the game. Okay, it does work. Okay. Okay. I do not see Aquis unlocked in here. Okay, so we're missing one other thing. Okay, this is in our inventory system. When we are in our element key item slot, if we hit select, then we're gonna say, yeah, we should see it. We should see it. So wherever we're rendering Flamma, however we're rendering Flamma in the inventory system, we need to make sure we've got the corresponding Aquis for. But I knew we had this at one point. We had all the spells equipable, even though they didn't do anything different. They all cast fire. So if we can at least get that back, then we just need to inherit the proper spells results and stuff, and then we can worry about the minigame for it, or whatever you want to call it. So we have an element slot that is a string and an element color. So once we do this, let me just see again if we click on it. Okay, well then let's find where we're rendering Flamma at least. I in the inventory system. So in the inventory, if the element is equipped, okay, so see, we don't have a... What the heck? If Flama is on... Okay, so we don't have... It doesn't look like we've got a Aquis render. Which could explain a lot of things. Let's just see this. If Aquis is unlocked, then we're gonna set the color to something. For right now, for right now, well, wait. Oh, this is just for rendering the drawable. Okay. We should be fine there. Okay, so now in our inventory system, if our Aquis is unlocked, which our cheater toggle will flip for us, then we should at least see Aquis in the inventory. So let's cheater toggle, and we see Aquis. It's just in the Flama slot. Which means what? When we go to render, we are drawing it right here. I know we've got a way to step through the key item slots in terms of like X position placement, but I'm not seeing that at the moment. Yeah. I'm that guy right now. I'm really just guessing numbers. All right, we got Aquis. Okay, we need to put it. We need. Now there's an element in Tassio's hand, right? That he's holding, and the red, it needs to be red or blue, as well as whatever's equipped, which right here we have. We made. What's up, Mendoza? What's up? Welcome back. Welcome back. Good to see you. We made this lower res version. So if we look at Flama 2 versus Flama 1, Flama without a 2 is in the inventory system, and it takes up the whole key item slot, versus the Flama 2 takes up the item equip slot, where your element slot. So the B button is the element slot, and the A button is the item slot. So we've got, let's see, if Flama's equipped, we're going to go ahead and render the vibrancy bar, but then we're going to render the Flama 2. So let me, I guess let's just check out what this Flama 2 exactly is. So it looks like we've got a Flama, which is 11 by 11. So Flama is 11 by 11, but Flama 2, what the wait a second. Let me check something. When we import this thing, where's our drawables? It's in our dependencies. Right here. Flama 2 gets elements 10 by 10. What the? Okay, we made a whole folder for this stuff. So in the inventory, it's 11 by 11. That just fits the inventory slot. In the item slot, it's a 10 by 10. I really wish I would have not done a horrible job on that. Okay, here's our beautiful Aquis. Okay. Okay, so we made it at least, but actually we didn't make our Aquis 2. Dude, this is horrible. You know, I'm like mimicking, dude, it's so bad. Mimicking the horrible naming convention just for consistency's sake. Okay, well, we have Flama 2, or we have Aquis 2, but we need to actually render it. So if our Flama's equipped, if our Aquis is equipped, what am I doing? If Aquis is equipped, we're going to set color to blue and then render Aquis in the item slot. And it's Aquis 2, the 10x10 version. And we're going to set this to blue. I don't think we have blue. We'll have to make it. We have a dark cyan. Oh, we do have a blue. Okay, we have a blue. Okay, so if Aquis is equipped, go ahead and render it in the item slot. Dude, why is it so jacked up? That doesn't look like 10x10. Okay, it is a different freaking... Okay. I'm tempted to just keep them as 10x10s, get rid of the 1 and 2 elements, so we just have 1 to worry about. But then we have to figure out why this one's a different size. 16x16. It's not a 10x10. What? How did we screw that up? Aquis is the only one we screwed up? Everything else is 10x10. Okay, well, I've never used this software, but we're going to try to scale. You know, I just want to change the canvas size or change the image size so that this is a 10x10. Okay, I don't know how to use this software. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Resize image. Okay, great. Great. Okay. There's our Aquis. Okay. It should be better now. Nice, look at it. Okay. Doesn't quite have the sheen I like it to have though. Oh, shit. Okay, let's try this again. See, why did it not keep this white? Because this white is here. That's weird. See, that doesn't look anything like that. It might not be pure white, or we might... Oh, I think we might set the color before we render, because we should set it to white so that everything comes out natural. Yeah, we don't want to bluify it. We want to white it up. Okay, there we go. It's there. Okay. Okay, so we need... Yeah, I think we're gonna rehaul this. We probably have to change our... You know what? It's so... I don't know why we didn't just figure this out. Because I remember having this issue, and then I remember just being like, you know what? It was more of a pain than I thought it was going to be. We'll just keep it with 2 different size elements for the inventory versus the element slot. I don't like that. But we need to render the element slot outside of the inventory. So there's another time we render Flama 2. And it's in the play state, and it's if we're element equipped here. So we'll say if our element is Aquis. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, we have to pull this out. If we pull this out, we can just say if element equipped does not equal nil, go ahead and render the type of the element that it is instead of this for if condition check, you know. So I do want to pull that out, but we do want vibrancy, which is another reason to pull this out. So we can just say if element equipped does not equal nil, go ahead and we know we need to see our vibrancy bar. Then go ahead and render the appropriate spellcast element in the item slot that is equipped. So now we should see it in our bar in the play state. So there we can carry Flama around in our hand. And we've got Aquis here. Vibrancy bar should probably change color with the element, but also I'm not seeing the element in our hand when we render that, and that is probably in the inventory. What the flip did I do? What did I do there? Okay, in our inventory, we want to see where we're doing the Tashio hand equip. I don't remember what we call that, but we equip it in our hand. Do we render it in the player maybe? No. So it's not in the player. Player defers to entity. Okay. So where do we render the Flama in our hand? See, I feel like it's got to be here in the inventory. Element color. Element color on our inventory. No? Because where do we use the element color? Element color Flamma. Okay. Okay, what are we doing here? If Flamma's unlocked and we've got it equipped. What is this? Oh, action. Okay, so we unequip it. Okay. But then what about this element color? Let me just try to change this. Oh, excuse me. Okay, see, look. I'm holding a blue element there. So it is the element color. It's just that we're like overriding it or something because we set the element color here. Okay, element color, but it's part of our inventory. Okay, so where do we use that? Play state. Okay. Oh. What the? That's not right. Oh, that's... Oh yeah, that's some old shit right there. We do not want that. We're just gonna delete that. Well, I don't know. Don't we do an element color here? No. Okay, it's not in the play state, so it might be... Wait, so then where are we freaking rendering it? If it's not in the play state, it's gotta be here in the inventory, but we don't actually... I'm not seeing where we render it here. When we init our element color, we're setting it to Flamma. So let's set it to transparent from the get-go, and then we'll see if we can equip others. Okay, so we have to add unequipping of Aquis, but we're also still not rendering it in our hand. Okay, selected row 1. If it's selected row 1, then if we select the call 1, otherwise if we select the call 2, then we're going to say, okay, well, is our Aquis unlocked? If so, this element slot gets Aquis spell. We set the element color. Okay. I'm not seeing where we actually render the freaking spell in our hand. It's got to be here. It's one of these. Empty vibrancy bar, Flamma 2. Oh. This should not be here. No, this is okay. Okay, I have to track down where we freaking render the spell in hand. Okay. Okay, it's not the spell cast, but I am not seeing where we equip the spell in our hand, so we can't quite continue. But we got to have unequipping work. So if we can at least get that, then we can track down the placement and then hopefully get the whole thing working tomorrow. But let's see. How do we unequip? Because this is, if it's already equipped, unequip it. If it's not already equipped, okay, let's see if this, it should be, oh, this should all be Aquis here. Okay, we should have unequipping working. It does unequip in the item slot, but it does not unequip in our hand. It does not change the, which I guess is the thing we're trying to fix. Okay. Well, at least we've got the unequipping working in the item slot. Does that carry over to the play state? Let's hope it does. Okay, and then same with the vibrancy bar. We want our vibrancy bar for our Aquis to be blue. Okay, so here, before we do... Wait. I don't even see where we're rendering the vibrancy bar. I mean, I see we're doing it here for Flamma. In the play state. Okay, well this is jacked up then, because we've got a vibrancy bar render in the play state as well as the inventory. Well, no, I guess that's right then. I guess that's right. And we don't render vibrancy in the inventory just because that's how I did it. Okay, I'm just gonna jack up the blue real hard on that. We do render it. We do. Oh my god, what the f... Okay, bad things are happening. Okay, we're getting a different render for the item slot in the play state versus the inventory state. And our vibrancy is still jacked. I know fill type, X position, Y position, width, and then height. So yeah, we're rendering our Flamma vibrancy, but it's still red. Oh, we gotta change the empty bar. Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll undo that. And then we'll change this one to be jacked up on the blue. All hopped up on Mountain Dew. Okay, we got a blue bar. It's way too blue. We need to render it in the inventory too, but it's already 9 o'clock, so I gotta get going. But we've got a blue bar. We just need a bump everything else up a bit. So we get a nice blue thing. Let's do 150, 150, and jack up the blue. Okay, it's kind of purple. Okay, this is good for now, but we've got Aquis equipable now, at least, and our spell casting is turned off since our Flama is not equipped. So, moving forward this week, I want to change, gosh, I'll have to really think about it, because I think I have to do some deeper thinking about if other spells are going to be different sort of mini games, like different sort of spellcast balancing, which in my head that's how I want it to be. So like maybe Aquis is like a constant well, I don't know what to do. I'll think about it. But we want to decouple in our code the non-element specific stuff with the element specific stuff, so that we can easily change the color of the element we're holding in the hand in both the inventory and the play state, and then change how the focus indicator responds to different playstyles. And ideally we do the thing where, you know, our element equipped, instead of saying, well, if Flama is equipped, do this, if Aquis equipped, do this, we'll kind of, I want to kind of just be able to define those spells and then just say, if there is an element equipped, then do the appropriate element thing, rather than the four nested ifs for all the different spell casts. Okay, but this is a good step. I will go ahead and commit. We changed our Aquis to a 10 by 10. In our play state, we became Aquis unlocked. We ceased to change the save select state. We are setting our element color to be transparent instead of defaulting the Flama. We became unlocked true. This is fine for now. And then, yeah, we didn't do all that much. But in our inventory, we are getting the proper element equip and unequip. We just need to get the rendering. So we will mark these for staging, and we will commit with a message saying add Aquis equipping in inventory. Cool. And we'll push. Great. Looks like we're pushed. Great. Okay. Well, moving forward, I am trying to get on this schedule of I go to work, I come home, I do my home stuff, and then 8 to 9 I stream, and then I'm done by 9. And I'll prioritize the consistency over the length in programming, just because I need it to be, I want it to be a daily practice. So that is the current plan, is 8 p.m. to 9. weekends might be different, but work days are going to be 8 to 9, and then weekends might be different. But I don't know. I'm figuring that out. But I'm hoping the new setup can kind of be consistent once again. So now that I've got more consistency in my life with the work schedule, I can commit a little bit better. I mean, and you know, I was sick for like 11 days last month, like very, very sick, and then that was horrible. But you know, finishing up my old job and moving on to my new job, it's tough, but I'm trying to feel that balance out. Anyways, thanks for watching, y'all. We'll rate out. I think Bright is doing a producer challenge night, so we'll say what's up. He's like the only guy I know who makes a game on Steam about well, that he streams both game dev and music stuff. So we always like rate and Bright side. So we'll catch you later. I'll be back tomorrow at 8 Mountain Time, and we'll get some more Aquis functionality done. So thanks for hanging. I'll catch you later.